Warning. The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on the show are reflective of AJ Orsini and his guests exclusively. But seriously, guys, the show's called Uncensored. If you got a problem with bad language, I really don't give a shit.
You know what I want. I've been asking for it for years, but you won't give it to me because you're not in control. Give me what I want!
Hey yo, DJ, stop the music!
What? Give it to me, give me what I want! What? Give it to me, give it to me, give me what I want! Give it to me, give me what I want! Give it to me, give me what I want! What?
What? Check this out, right?
Give it to me, give me what I want!
You wanna play my demo?
What?
Tag it in my ringo. Shoot my sledgehammer, 'cause I'm the king of kingdom.
Yeah.
You wanna play my demo?
What?
Gonna give up. I don't know who's bars that change. It's WrestleMania.
It's all I've ever wanted. That one last match to end my career on my terms.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and now your host, AJ Orsini.
How the hell is everybody out there? This is your boy. This is your main man, AJ Orsini, and I am your host of Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and I am, amazingly enough, here. I am here. I actually did not think that I would get here. If you're hearing a bit of an echo in the background, I actually do apologize to you guys because I am not home. I am not in the house of O. I am on the road. That's right. This is one of the first remote episodes of Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and I got to tell you guys, I'm making this happen here. I am on the campus of York College here in Jamaica, Queens. I've had a lot of things that I have had to do today and yesterday and the day before that, and I did not get a chance to do an episode for this week because I have had so much to do here. I've had so much to do at home, and to be honest with you, there's stuff with the show I've been doing too that I'm going to be letting you guys in on as we progress throughout this day. But thank you for joining me. I want to thank you guys for being here for episode 81. Actually, you know what? I didn't even plan on doing that, but that's actually a really cool thing that I just did. Hold on a second. Let me dig into my bag of tricks here. And, no, here we go. So we're going to try it again. This is episode 81. Yeah, we should probably do that more often. Anywho, a lot of stuff going on here in the world of pro wrestling, and I got a list before me of things that I want to hit on because there's some shit that has been going down, and I wanted to talk about it this week. I didn't want to wait till next week because next week I'm jam-packed full of shit. A lot of important shit that I needed to do in my own personal life all literally hit me like a fucking hurricane today, Wednesday the 20th. So in the upcoming weeks, I will be much more free and much more flexible on when I will and will not be doing these episodes. Having said that, there are some things that I need to update you on. Also, if you can tell, I've lost my voice a little bit. I will tell you the story as to how I've lost my voice, which is not good for a show host. For someone who's supposed to be doing a weekly episodic podcast, losing your voice is not something that I would suggest people do. But I'm going to get into why in a little bit. I just wanted to update you guys on one very important thing going on here on Orsini's Uncensored Mind. That is the Road to WrestleMania contest, baby. If you have entered this contest, thank you so much for sharing your stories with me. I have kept up my end of the bargain. I have kept my the information confidential until I decide on a winner, because there were some people who really opened up, I got to admit, and then some of them of which were very nice enough to open up to me in secrecy, almost like, in confidence. If they win, I did ask if you win, is it okay to share your story? They did agree to do that, but We're going to wait to see until they win. Again, the criteria as far as what I'm looking for, because win is a very strong word. There's no losers in this contest. They're all really great stories, and I hope to one day get a chance to do an episode on all of them, if possible. But the winner would be the one that moves me the most. Remember, WrestleMania, WWE, pro wrestling as a whole means a lot to me. So I really want someone sitting with me on an episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind who really gets into that idea and really backs that up themselves, who really loves this shit more than they love just about anything else. I mean, it's got to be a very small list of shit that you like more for you to win this contest. So I wanted to take that time to thank you guys for sharing that information. The winner, of course, as mentioned before, will be seated with me on the first ever live WrestleMania Roundtable for Orsini's Uncensored Mind, and I remember announcing it the first time, not having a date, and then last week I remember giving you guys a date, which was March 29th. That is not going to be the case. There was a scheduling conflict on both ends, myself and the studio in which I'll be in. So we have negotiated a different date, and that date, believe it or not, to me anyway, works out a whole lot better. It will be Tuesday the 2nd. Tuesday the 2nd will be the live airing of the first ever WrestleMania Roundtable live. That I will be on the air, which is perfect for me because first of all, I have a time as well. It's going to be the same time as the other live show, which was 6 p.m. to 8. It's going to be a two-hour show, 2-hour block. Starts at 6, same as the live show that we did before. Only this time was taking place on a Tuesday. Last time I did one of these, I think it was like a Thursday or a Friday or some shit, and I took the episode and I uploaded it for a Wednesday. That will not be the case this time. So the plan, now that I have everything figured out, I'm literally doing this podcast at the end of this gigantic fucking hurricane. So if my emotions and everything is all over the fucking place, I apologize greatly to you. But just try to bear with me in the meantime. So what's going on here is I'm doing this episode now, episode 81. Next Wednesday will be episode 82. Now, episode 83, which should air April 3rd, will not air April 3rd. I will, the Tuesday episode, so to speak, that's going to be live, will be that week's show. I don't think I have the option of a turnaround that fast, meaning will I have the episode able to be aired on Podbean by April 3rd? I'm not sure. Last time it took like 2 days for me to get it, so we will see. If I can get it the next day, then it will go up the next day. If it does not, then the air living will suffice for that week's episode, and I will do what I do with all roundtables, which is uploaded the day of WrestleMania, which would be the 7th, and then we're back to our regularly scheduled program on April the 10th, which would be episode 84. So that's how. It's not a good sign for the show if I'm already getting tongue-tied. That's how this is going to go. That's how that order is going to go. I'm not going to overwork myself. It's going to be next week, regularly scheduled program, Tuesday the 2nd, April 2nd, live. The round table will be on Podbean for repeated listening for those who missed the live broadcast. That's Sunday, April 7th for WrestleMania, and then we're back to we're post WrestleMania Wednesday the 10th. So that's what the plan is for that. And of course, the winner of that contest will be with me on that live broadcast. We're going to be talking WrestleMania. I'm going to talk a little WrestleMania here, as a matter of fact, because there's some things shaping up. But we're going to get really into detail. We're really going to get into the hype of the whole thing on the live program. If you're listening to the sound of my voice and you have not entered the contest yet, all you need to do is message, email, any form of communication, any way that you want to get me your story, you go ahead and you send that. Again, the road to WrestleMania. Last year I told my road to WrestleMania, the trials and tribulations of my life and how much wrestling has meant to me. That was last year. This year, the stage is yours. I would like to hear your story. I would like to hear how much WrestleMania means to you, how much wrestling in general means to you. I want the real story. Don't fabricate shit. Don't hit me with some lies just to try to make the story seem sad and shit. I will be able to tell a bullshit story. So just give me your true, honest fucking story. Mean it from the heart, because I would really love to give someone the opportunity who has always dreamed of doing something like this, live radio. live radio and talking about WrestleMania. I mean, I think that's a really cool thing to do, and I think that's a really cool opportunity for some people. For those of you who will not be on the podcast and want to take a listen, because I did a really good number the first time for the 1 year anniversary, I will never not be grateful for what you guys did for me that day, but we're doing it again. I remember the last time I gave you guys the options to listen live, it was mesnradio.com, and then there was a phone number that you could use to call in and actually speak to me on the air, and ask questions, make statements, so you can contribute your 2 cents into what we're talking about. You're going to have that option again this time around. Again, April 2nd is when we do this, 6 to 8 p.m., a 2-hour window there. The phone number is the same. If you want to call the show and ask me any questions and or make any statements or whatever, just make any contribution to the show, that number is the same as before. I will remind you guys, and I'm going to make a commercial for this so you guys have access to it in case you forget. But it's 609-910-0687. That's the phone number to call me, to talk to me and talk to my guests, who will be on the round table discussing WrestleMania. To listen, the link from before, mesnradio.com, does not exist anymore. They do not do it through that website anymore, which is good because I got a lot of complaints from people. There were some people who got in, some people who didn't. Apparently the number that I did was really good, but it could have been an even greater number had people been able to access the stream and yada, yada, yada. It was just a pain for some people. Well, I've got some news for you. They're not doing it through that website anymore. If you, there's an app you can get, or you can go to the website itself. I have it here. Hold on 1 second. I had it up. I was prepared for my shit, and then everything just scrambled. I told you guys I'm fucking frazzled right now. Here it is. Okay. Mixlr, Mixlr. That is where you would be able to go. It is mixlr.com/MESN-radio. It's a mouthful. I'll do it again. mixlr.com/MESN-radio. I'm going to have that up again. I'm going to have it available for a simple click. All you will need to do is click. Trust me, I'm not going to put you in a position to type in a bunch of shit. But you can listen to it through the website. You can listen to it through the app. There's a downloadable app that you can get. Mixlr is the app. It's a little red circle with some dots in it because there's a couple of mixer things. To be careful. It's Mixlr, red circle. That's the logo, red circle with some white dots. And you can get the app, or you can listen through the website on your phone or on your laptop, and you can listen to us live. And again, the number to call if you want to contribute, not just listen, but contribute, 609-910-0687. So that's going down April 2nd. I'm going to have that information up for everybody. Again, easy click or download area for you to get the app or whatever you want to do. However you want to fucking listen to it, I don't really care. Just listen. Because it's going to be dope. It's going to be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun the last time I went live, and it was just me and Steven. This time it's going to be me, Steven, whoever wins this contest, and then one more additional guest. So it's going to be a load of fun. And I don't mean a load all over you, a load of fun for everyone's ears. I'm not sure that's making it literally any better. So that's the update on that. Let's get into our topics here. There's some things here that I really want to discuss with people. I actually want to address two things. One of which is a pro wrestling thing, and one of them is not. So I will start with the not. And then because after I do the other thing, it'll lead into more shit. And this is from fans. I tell people all the time, if you want to contribute to the show, if you want to add some things and contribute and send me shit or ask me shit, whatever the case may be, you're always free to. Sometimes people do, sometimes people don't. This week I got two, so I would like to address the two. One of which, someone was taking me to task here. A buddy of mine decided he wanted to take me to task. He said, listen, he said, you talk about pro wrestling all the time on your show, but you neglected to mention the huge announcement made by Jushin Thunder Liger that he will be retiring after this year's Wrestle Kingdom. I did know that he was doing that. I shared the information on the Orsini's Uncensored Mind group page. Try to get that information out there. I did hear about his statements and what he wants to do and la 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 la. I did not mention it last week, and that was intentional. I did not. It was not an oversight. I did not mention it because he's not retired. He's not retired. He didn't go anywhere yet. What the fuck am I going to talk about it now for? I can. Here's the thing. I think people sometimes confuse my intentions. This is a podcast, yes, and this is a podcast that divulges mostly in pro wrestling. But primarily, the primary purpose for this show, for me anyway, is for me to have a platform for me to have a conversation with you fucking people. This is not a news outlet. I can say things that happen, breaking news or whatever. I could not. I'm not being held at the fucking fire of being first, or I'm not really in a situation where I have to break news or anything like that. If I feel like talking about some shit, I feel like talking about it. That's it. If not, then I don't. Yes, I heard about Jushin Liger. Yes, I understand that he's retiring. Yes, that's actually a pretty big blow for Japanese wrestling. I mean, he's not a huge loss considering how many stars they have now, but it definitely is a loss as far as experience and veteranship and locker room leader. I mean, he's like the Undertaker over there, man. This guy's one of the most respected pro wrestlers, not only in Japan, but I think across the world. And it's going to be a sad day when I don't hear that song anymore and when I don't see that mask anymore and the majesty of that cape anymore. But we're not there yet. This is the farewell tour. This is him trying to get as many great matches in as he can. This guy's, late 50s, almost 60s, and he's still pulling out great matches. So let him go out on his own. Now, we will really go into this deep when he actually does retire. I don't want to me, retirement is the end of a career. It's the end of an entire life, Not his physical life, but the end of a life, wrestling life. And he hasn't retired yet. He's not dead yet. So let's speak of him in good light until he retires, and then we reminisce. When it's over, when the boots are hung up, then we'll have that conversation. We're going to have a conversation about retirement a little later on. Plus, I'm saving my energy for that one. So, I wanted to address that. I do know about Liger. I do know that it's a big deal, but I'm not here to break news, folks. If you want news, hit the dirt sheets. I'm here to talk about shit that I feel like talking about, and I don't feel comfortable talking about Liger until Liger is gone. I could talk about his resume and his matches and all that stuff, and I could do that, but what's the point if he hasn't gone yet? Well, why reminisce? Why look into his past? I look forward more so to looking toward his future, because from what I understand, now that he's made this announcement and people know that there's only one chance left, I mean, what are we in March and Wrestle Kingdom in January? That gives you about a 10-month window to really pull some shit out of your ass and get as many matchups in as possible. The one match that I could have sworn we were like this close to getting, him and Mysterio, that got canceled because Mysterio unfortunately got injured. If we can make that fucking match happen one last time, that'd be cool, but I doubt very seriously we can at this point. Mysterio being with WWE and Liger just, not being in WWE. It really hinders the possibility of that matchup. So we'll talk more about Liger when the time comes. The other topic that was brought up to me, and people, again, trying to take me to task, I think people love looking for opportunities for the I told you so. And I don't understand why people were putting that on me, because I've been shouting from the rooftops for a long time. So, as you all know, I do a lot of wrestling shit, and sometimes I divulge into movies, comics, whatever topic tickles my fancy. And my fancy was quite tickled this week when I got the news that Mr. James Gunn, because I think I've mentioned this on the show, director James Gunn, director of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. He's directed other things, but I know him as the Guardians of the Galaxy director. That's what I know him about. And if you didn't hear, I discussed it on the podcast a while ago. This happened a while ago, so you might have to go to some of the earlier episodes. But Disney, Marvel, whichever entity you want to point your finger at, decided that they were going to terminate his contract with him. They were going to terminate their contract with him because of some backlash they got, some bad PR for some tweets that he wrote way back in 2012 that are neither here nor there. Are they offensive? I guess it depends on you. They were derogatory, right? And he did the old tweet and the old delete and apology. As you call it, tweet and delete, but he didn't delete it for another, 6 years. So there was some bad PR attached to it. They had to make a decision, or so they say. That's the story they're going with, and I'm pretty sure the one they're sticking to it, and they let him go. And, of course, James Gunn, being a full-grown man and a talented one on that, went off to try apply his trade in other places, and he got picked up in a hurry because he's talented at what he fucking does. And he got his hands on a couple of projects, and he's doing a lot of cool shit, and now we're finding out that James Gunn has once again been rehired by Disney Marvel to do the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. I guess whoever it was they were speaking to to pick that movie up must not have been that you know how shitty an interview that must have been for them to be like, well, let's just go back to the old guy. Fuck that. They came crawling back, and now James is signed on. He's going to do the third Guardians and finish the whole thing up, and I'm sure he'll end it on a good note. But the reason why people were rubbing shit in my face is because I've been saying for forever, he shouldn't have even been fired in the first place. I've said this 1,000 times. You should have never been fired in the first place, James. Never. There was no reason to let you go. None. And you're saying to yourself, well, he offended a bunch of people. He said something that was very insensitive. I will co-sign that. Okay, maybe he did piss some people off. He said something that was very insensitive. I wish I could pull up the original tweet. I should have had that. But the tweet itself, I didn't pull up the tweet because the tweet it's irrelevant, actually, in this conversation. It's irrelevant. Because it was in 2012, and it wasn't like he compounded that with 6 more years of the same shit. He said something stupid and left it on social media. Someone went looking for shit because that's what people do now. You know how often James Gunn tweets? You know how many tweets there must have been between now and 2012? And they sifted through all that shit, hoping and praying they would find something, and they did. They found just enough to piss people off. I'm sorry, but, and I've said it 1,000 times on this show, I will continue to say it until I'm blue in the face. I'm offended doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry, it just doesn't. I've said it 1,000 times. I will continue to say it. I am offended doesn't mean anything. He said something. It pissed people off. Okay, so the people who are pissed off, you can go and you can cut this guy off and you can not watch his movies and you can not support his career and you can try and damage him that way. The rest of us will live our goddamn lives as we choose. It's the same thing here. If he would have said something, I'm sorry, not said something, because I think said is where all this really happens. If James Gunn would have done something detrimental to a person, if he would have beat someone up, if he would have spit on somebody, shoot at somebody, kick somebody down the flight of steps or some shit, if he would have given me some sort of action that indicated to me some sort of need of discipline or punishment just to correct his fucking behavior, I'd be for this. Fire the fucking guy. He doesn't fucking deserve to be here. But to dig up some shit that he said 6 fucking years ago, because the part that people are pushing into my face and they're telling me, see, I told you so, because people are painting this picture like it's penance, like he's coming back on his hands and knees, like he's crawling to come back, like he served his sentence and now he's begging the great and powerful Disney Marvel execs to bring him back on so he can finish his baby. I've seen no evidence of that. I've seen actually the exact opposite of that. That's how the vibe I'm getting from this. I think Brandon Lewis said it the best on Facebook. That sorry we fired you money must have been fucking sweet, because that's exactly what that situation was. I think they just waited. They felt like they had to do something at the time, which again I disagree with. You didn't have to do shit. Once again, another company caving to public opinion and feeling they had to put the PR fire out, and they made a fucking decision that was fucking stupid. There was no need to do that. None. Caving to the masses. I don't understand it. You don't have to. Not you. Most companies, bad PR will sink the sales. That's it. They're out of business. You're a multi-billion-dollar fucking company. You don't need to bend anyone's fucking will. Look at Nike. Nike didn't bend anybody's fucking will. They went the opposite way. They pushed the envelope the other way and cashed the fuck in. That was their plan all along. Disney doesn't have to cave to fucking nobody. Nobody. They didn't need to. And in the end, they ended up paying for him to come back anyway. So, instead of people throwing it at me, I'll throw it right back. I told you so. There was no fucking reason to do it in the first place. Disney made the right fucking decision bringing his ass back. Because that's the way that it should have gone. That's the way that it should have gone. There was no reason for him to go. So I'm glad two people brought that up for me to discuss today. Because that's something that I definitely want to get into. All right, so WrestleMania is around the corner. We've got the Road to WrestleMania contest. We've got all kinds of things happening right now for WrestleMania. It's huge in my life. I've been trying to let it overcome me But again, I've been pretty busy this week. After this week, I'm golden. The best thing happening to me after today is WrestleMania. I've got tickets. I'm going. I'm going to be doing a live show about it. I'm going to be checking out a lot of different things going on for the independent wrestling scene that's going to be happening. I'm going to update you guys on that. I'm waiting till we get a little closer. Next week, if you're an independent wrestling fan, next week, I'm going in. I'm going to be talking a whole bunch of independent pro wrestling. Next week, it's going to be the indie roundup there. I'm going to be talking all things indie wrestling next week. Not just indie, pretty much all. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I really want it to be indie heavy, and it will be indie heavy. But there's going to be a lot of things I'm going to be talking about next week that are related to the WrestleMania festivities that will be taking place here in the city and in New Jersey for that entire week. Now that I'm thinking about it out loud, because the festivities, man, the shows are happening as early as Wednesday. With my live show on Tuesday, I'm looking at, I guess I'm kicking it off, right? The live show is going to be about WrestleMania, so I figure I do the indie one before that. So we're going to do indie wrestling, and then we're going to do the WrestleMania roundtable. That's going to be dope. I'm looking forward to the next 2 weeks. I have all the time in the world to get done the things that I want to get done the way I want to get them done. So I'm super excited. I stressed myself out the last few days just so I could enjoy the next few weeks. So I had to do my adulting. So I'm really looking forward to the next few weeks. But WrestleMania is coming up. It's right around the corner. There's been a few things being discussed here. Like, for instance, the reports going around, this may in fact be the longest WrestleMania of all time. There's many talks about many matches that will be taking place. Everyone gets a spot on the card. You get a spot on the card. And you get a spot on the card. Everyone gets a spot on the card here at WrestleMania. It's going to be 18 hours long or whatever the fuck. Listen, I'm going to WrestleMania. Physically. I'm going to physically be there, okay? And I was talking to some people online about that. You know, people were complaining online. Oh, this is going to be a long WrestleMania for what? Last year was what? 6-7 hours? That's not long enough? Blah, 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 blah. Here's the deal, bro. I'm going to give it to you guys straight. Real talk from Orsini, all right? Uncle Cini's talking to you. Now, listen up, kids. It doesn't fucking matter how long the show is. It doesn't fucking matter. It could be 8 hours. It could be 9 hours. It could be 10 hours. It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is, what the fuck do you want to see? That's what matters. What the fuck do you want to see? See, we've been preconditioned for years. I'm in this group as well for watching WrestleMania. 2-hour shows, 3-hour shows, 4-hour shows. You've been trained and conditioned to watch it from beginning to end. But if they're going to change their formula and do what they want to do, you are free as the ticket-paying or network-paying customer to do what you like. What I mean by that is I will be in the building for WrestleMania. I have zero intentions in being there for the pre-show. None. I have zero intentions of being there for the pre-show. I'm going to be in the building. I think the start time for that show is going to be, what, 7? Is that what they did last year? WrestleMania? It was like 7 to midnight, like a 5-hour block. They just changed the garbage can in the room that I'm in. So, if you're hearing some sounds in the back, guess what that is. But it goes from 7 to, I think the main show was like 7 to 12, and then it ran from like 5 to 12. So if they're planning on doing 8 hours, I'm assuming that would mean that it starts at 4. I will be in my home taking a shit at 4 o'clock. I'm not going to be in the fucking building at 4 o'clock. No fucking way. Okay? I will be in the building maybe 6:30, somewhere around that area. Right, which I'm pretty sure nothing will be going on around that time. The last pre-show match may come on 6:15. I have no intentions of watching the pre-show live. I don't know which matches will be on the pre-show as of right now, and I don't care. If it's on the pre-show, I'm probably going to miss it. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be at WrestleMania. I'm going to be there all night, and if I feel like I don't want to be there anymore, I fucking leave. Because here's the deal, folks. I paid for my tickets. That came out of my fucking pocket. Which means I get to fucking decide when the fuck I leave. Now, I understand that history might be made here. The first ever women's main event for WrestleMania. And there's a strong part of me that wants to stay and watch that. But I am an adult. I have adult things that I have to do. My son has picture day the next day. There's a lot of shit going on here. I may or may not stay till the end. I will update you guys as it happens. But as of right now, I'm not entirely sure. And if that's the case, I will leave. I suggest you fuckers do the same. It doesn't matter how long. Listen, they're going to have an 8-hour WrestleMania. So make the decision on your own. How many hours are you willing to sacrifice for WrestleMania? If it's 4 hours, it's 4 hours. If it's the full 8, it's the full 8. If it's 1 fucking hour, it's 1 fucking hour. What does it fucking matter to you how long the fucking show is? Seriously. Who gives a shit? It's going to be the longest WrestleMania ever of all time. Okay. That's the point. Let them do what they do, and you guys can watch it in spurts. Not everybody has to watch it all at once, as long as everyone watches. That's it. They don't really give a shit about how that goes. They have no fucking problems with any of that. So, neither should you. Stop bugging yourself out. Jesus Christ. Anyway, it might be the longest WrestleMania of all time. That's what the rumors are. We'll see. But we've got about 10 matches already officially announced for that card. Here are some of the matches we have so far. Asuka will be defending the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship in a singles match, and her opponent is to be determined still, because they're having those matches on SmackDown to determine it. But there will be a singles match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Man, that belt has really they've just wiped their asses with that one, huh? It was announced that Samoa Joe will be defending his WWE United States Championship against Rey Mysterio. That's going to be an awesome match. I can't wait for that one. That one live, I can't wait for. Of course, you're going to have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That'll probably be on the pre-show. Or at least I hope it is, because I really don't want to watch that on the main card. So far for that Battle Royal, we only have Braun Strowman, which, why the fuck is he in that? If he's not winning it, why the fuck is he in it? I think he was in, he wasn't in it last year. What the fuck did he do last year? Or was he in it last year? I don't even fucking remember. I don't know what the fuck Braun Strowman did last year, and quite frankly, at this point, didn't he do the Nicholas deal last year? My brain is fucking killing me right now. I need to go to sleep ASAP. By the way, when this recording is over, I told you guys I was on the campus of York College. It takes me 90 minutes to get home from here, so I got a lot of time to reflect on whether or not Braun Strowman did the Nicholas deal last year. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton in a singles match. Here's the deal. I actually didn't give a fuck about this match before the segment last week. After the segment, I am 100% ready for this fucking matchup. And it's funny because to me, this was the 2009 dream match. AJ was the TNA World Heavyweight Champion at the time. He was firing on all fucking cylinders. And then there was newly anointed Viper, Apex Predator Randy Orton when he was basically fucking orange. He was just Super Saiyan Orton that year when he was just going through his full heel mode with the goofy facials and all that garbage. Man, what a dream match that would have been 10 years ago, man. 2009, that shit would have been crazy. I still expect a decent match now, but, I don't expect much. I think it's going to be a nice match. They've had a few SmackDown matches, but those don't count. I mean, 5 minutes, 7 minutes. This is going to be a full-on WrestleMania match between two of WWE's best athletes. So let's see. Shane McMahon and The Miz in a singles match. Couldn't care less about this match except for the fact that The Miz will be in a high-profile babyface situation. I loved his promo last night, and we'll see where this goes after the fact. I'm not really worried so much about this match because once this match is over, Shane disappears again. I just want to see what they do with Miz after this. See what's going on. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. I make no comments on that just yet. I'm saving that for the main event here. So we'll push forward. The No Holds Barred match that literally no one asked for, but we're having it, and I'm going to be there for it. Triple H versus Batista, 1-on-1. In a surprising turn of events here, the WWE Cruiserweight Championship is on the line as Tony Nese, a local former NYWC competitor out here in the Long Island area, a big New York guy. Maybe that's why he's getting the opportunity. But he'll be going 1-on-1 with Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight Championship at WrestleMania. I'm almost 1,000% sure that's going to be on the fucking pre-show as well. Lesnar, the Beast. Brock Lesnar defends his WWE Universal Championship against Seth Rollins. And, of course, my main event, the match that I want to see, the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey against the man Becky Lynch and against Charlotte Flair. A triple threat match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Those are the matches so far. Obviously, if they're looking to make this the longest WrestleMania, we may see more matches here over the next few weeks. Again, today is the 20th. We've got about 2 weeks. 1, 2, 3, and then 7 is 10, and then 7 is 17, and then about 18. About 3 weeks. About 2.5, 3 weeks before the big show, so I'm pretty sure they'll be adding a bunch of shit in around that time. I have been getting some heat. Look, go figure, right? Go figure. I've been getting some heat for my comments recently about Kofi Kingston. I have stated my opinion about him multiple times, and I could not. I basically wasted my time because Fastlane illustrated his entire career perfectly in that little segment they had with Kofi Kingston waiting by Vince McMahon's door, and then Big E and Xavier Woods walks in, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm waiting for Vince," and da da da. And they said, "No, we gotta make this happen, baby. We gotta make this and this happen right now." And Big E and Xavier just walk the fuck in, and Big E and Xavier walk in with Kofi in tow, and they stare Vince down, and Vince says, "Well, where the hell have you been? I've been waiting for you for over an hour." And that's just the perfect illustration, is it not? The perfect illustration of Kofi's entire career. He's talented. He's good. He's just not the type of guy to go into Vince's office and demand shit. The other two are. That's why I keep saying over and over, those two are better options for WWE champion than Kofi is. I've been saying it for forever. That face that Vince had, I've been waiting for you for an hour. He might as well have just replaced hour with 11 years. Been waiting for this for 11 years. Where the hell have you been? That's exactly what he could have just said in that one spot. That is the epitome right there. The epitome right there of Kofi Kingston's entire career. And now he had the gauntlet match in which he actually won, but then they screwed him out of it at the last second, and now we're doing this whole screwing him out, lose. And we got Xavier Woods and Big E shoot promos on the internet about how certain people can only get so far, and ha. Well, on this podcast, not only have I discussed Kofi Kingston's history, and then took the time to dare ask the question if he should have been champion by now, which is people are still saying he should have been champion by now. If he should have been champion by now, where and when? I broke that down a couple of episodes ago. I think it was episode 77. I broke that down. I listed all the champions that held the belt during his tenure in WWE, and I'm looking for people even today to tell me where on earth was he a better option than the champion at that time. And even in my research, I came up with a few open spots, but for the most part, people are still going with this idea he should have been champion by now. So I went through his history. I couldn't convince anybody. I went through the entire WWE Championship lineage for the last 12 years. Couldn't convince anybody. I've come up with a third stat, folks. A third stat. A stat that should make this whole WrestleMania thing seem even more important to you. Of what they're doing here and giving this guy the opportunity he's getting now. Kofi Kingston has never had a singles match at WrestleMania. Now, that could be said for a few people, actually. Ziggler, I think, is also in that category. There's a few of people who've never had singles matches at WrestleMania. But Kofi Kingston in particular has never had a singles match at WrestleMania. And you're probably listening to this going, well, that can't be true. Oh, let me list the ways. Kofi Kingston made his WrestleMania debut, WrestleMania 25, in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Followed it up the next year, WrestleMania 26, in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Followed that with an 8-man tag, where he teamed with Big Show, Santino, and Kane to take on the members of the Core, Ezekiel Jackson, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, currently PJ Black and Ring of Honor, and Wade Barrett. He followed that at WrestleMania 28 with a 12-man tag, Team Johnny, whether it was David Otunga, Dolph Ziggler, McIntyre, Swagger, Mark Henry, and The Miz, against Team Teddy, which is Booker T, Kofi Kingston, The Great Khali, R-Truth, Santino, and Zack Ryder. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, what's next? A 16-man tag? You would be wrong, because both WrestleMania 29, the one I went to, and WrestleMania 30, he wasn't even booked. Wasn't even on the show. He comes back hard in WrestleMania 31 in the pre-show. 4-way tag titles, Kid and Cesaro defending against Los Matadores, The New Day and the Usos. WrestleMania 32, back to his old ways, but a little less so. 6-man tag, the Legion of... was it Legion or League? One or the other. Legion of Nations. That group of people, foreign people. Alberto Del Rio, Rusev, and Sheamus against the New Day. And you're thinking, man, this is it right here, right? WrestleMania 33? Nope. The New Day were the hosts of WrestleMania 33. Kofi's big contribution to that show was announcing the Hardy Boys' return. And then last year's WrestleMania, a triple threat tag team match, the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos versus the New Day. He has never had a singles match at WrestleMania, and I think now he's on the verge of having one this WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. But wouldn't it be apropos to add some people to that? I mean, couldn't he still get a WWE Championship whilst keeping his multi-man streak intact? Can't we add a Kevin Owens or someone to this matchup? Or let's do that. Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, Mustafa Ali, and Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. We keep it a multi-man. He can still win the belt. Everyone's happy. Right? I'm telling you guys, and all those things that I just listed off for you, I don't recall any of those WrestleManias ever, including last year's. I don't recall any of those WrestleManias, anybody saying, damn, when's Kofi going to get his fucking one-on-one? I've never heard it. Ever. Not a single fucking time. I've never heard it, and I never will. Because it's a ridiculous fucking thing to say. Until now. Now it's ridiculous. Now people are saying, I don't even want to watch WrestleMania if he doesn't get his shot. So, if you're going to make him a champion, make it now. That's the part I have been saying consistently. If you're going to do it, now is the time to do it. He's as hot as anybody on the fucking planet. This is the time to pull that fucking trigger. Now. Not before. Now is the time to fucking do it. So, let's see if they end up pulling the goddamn trigger. Let's see if they've got the guts. All right, I only have, let me see, I think it's one, right? One other topic? No, actually, I have okay, this is going to be really cool. I'm bringing back the What the Fuck segment. I wasn't even thinking about doing it this way, but let's do it. Let's do the What the Fuck thing. I'm definitely down for that. Hold on one second here. That's in the other folder. Yeah, I have to go looking for it because I wasn't even fucking ready for it because I wasn't even thinking that. But that shit is perfect. Let's fucking do that.
Oh man, that's deep.
What in the fuck is he doing?
What the fuck is going on in here on this day?
Okay, so the What the Fuck segment, for anybody who's new to the show, because I haven't done it in a while, is when I take a wild and crazy story that I've heard either on the internet or on TV or whatever the fuck and discuss it on the show here. And this one in particular, I mean, we've had What the Fuck segments in the past with the lady who threw her poop in Canada and the 1 year anniversary show had one with some lady who took an animal on a flight. That was fucking crazy. I can't remember what animal it was. I'm fried, bro. I'm fried. But this What the Fuck segment actually stays within the realm of wrestling, but it divulges into a very interesting topic, and that is the topic of death. That's right, death. The ultimate rest hold. You never break out of death. That's it. You submit. Death always humbles its victims. Anyway, there's a gentleman by the name of Dalton Lanoza. I don't even know if his profile still exists because he's been catching some serious heat online. He posted a picture, or 3 pictures, a set of pictures in the world of vintage wrestling memorabilia. And I'm going to tell you what he posted, and I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if it's fake or not. I never bothered to research it because I'm not bringing this up for what he posted. I'm bringing it up because of the conversation that took place after he posted. It's an Owen Hart funeral service program. Okay? This is what the guy wrote. By the way, this item was for $1. But anyway, this is what he wrote. I used to work with a man who was one of the higher-ups with the WWE during the Attitude Era. Prior to his departure as my boss in the MMA space, he left behind this unique piece of pro wrestling history on my desk. It's for sale. DM me to talk price. Well, he has, and the pictures, these are the actual pictures. These pictures, okay? He put it in a Staples binder sleeve, like a clear plastic sleeve or whatever. But it's supposedly the one of the original programs at the funeral home where the services took place for Owen Hart. According to the zip code, because it's attached to a zip code, I guess for location purposes, that shit is in New Jersey. I recognize that zip code anywhere. I don't remember the fucking specifics, but this guy is in New Jersey. So I'm not entirely shocked, to be honest with you, these assholes posting this. But this guy is selling... Oh, Clementon, New Jersey. Dude, that's like right around the corner from where my mom lives. Anyway, this guy is selling a program from the funeral service of Owen Hart. And people have lost their fucking minds, right? People lost their fucking minds because apparently this is a disrespectful thing to do. It's like, oh, this is fucked up. This guy's a piece of shit. He's a jerk. How dare this fucking guy disrespect the death of Owen Hart and blah, 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 blah. Okay, here's where I'm bringing this up. This actually isn't the what the fuck to me. The responses to people are the what the fuck to me. Because there are people who are saying that him selling this program is one of the most disrespectful things he's ever seen. And I responded back with, it's not even the most disrespectful thing I've seen in wrestling today, let alone in life. And of course he flipped out, and I brought up the example because the person I was talking to, and I won't reveal their fucking name because I don't want them to get hit with a bunch of shit. It was a private conversation, but I'll tell you exactly how it went down. And what went down is this particular individual defended, not too long ago, like a few days ago, defended the dude who supposedly shit into his hand and then did a spot where he was going to feed it into a female's mouth. And somehow she overpowered him. I guess the shit breaks down your biceps. I don't know how that works. And they forced it into his own mouth. So he's eating his own shit. And that was supposedly entertainment. It's scripted entertainment. It's whatever. You know, it's fun. Okay, whatever. Same dude, later on, a few days later, Priscilla Kelly vomits on Joey Ryan's dick. And it's scripted entertainment. It's fun. It's cool. It's fine. Listen. It's the evolution of wrestling, right? This is where entertainment is taking us. Okay. All right. Fine. So a gentleman comes into a wrestling group, posts a picture of a Owen Hart funeral program, and this guy is livid. He's pissed. This is the most disgusting shit I've ever seen. I'm just like, really? Listen. For the record, I don't like that this guy is selling this funeral service program. I, too, feel it's disrespectful. But to sit here and sell this story to me that it's more disrespectful than the shit that we've seen over the last 2 weeks, and that this person defended. He defended the idea that a grown man shitting into his hand and then trying to force feed it into another person's mouth, only to have it reversed on him and have his own turd shoved into his mouth is not more disrespectful than some guy who's selling a funeral service program for a funeral that took place 20 years ago. It's just some piece of paper that's been lying around. He's selling it off for, I have the picture right here. It's a fucking $1. That's more disrespectful than some dude shitting in his hand and eating it in the ring. I'm sorry. I have to disagree. I'm not saying selling this program is a good thing or it's funny or it should be done, but the most disrespectful thing you've ever seen. You need to stop. There are more disrespectful things than this on a daily fucking basis. And yes, I do come from a background where I don't really put too much onus on death. That's a long story for another day. Funeral service and shit like that don't make any sense to me. But that's another story for another day. I just find it funny that people will defend the grossest and the dumbest shit possible. But if a guy goes online and even pretends, because we don't know if this is real anyway, he even pretends that he's going to sell a funeral program for a funeral that took place 20 years ago. That body has long been decomposed. Owen's never going to find out about this. I promise you, he's not. But some asshole online is pissed off about it, so now everyone has to hear about it. That's the reason this guy didn't share his shit. People were snapshotting and sharing it around the internet. They made him fucking famous, not him. I just thought that was a weird what the fuck type of thing to do. Again, to be honest. And that's what we do here. We do honesty. I got a few minutes left, and there's one topic left that I've got to hit. I promise you, I got to hit this because, man, listen to me. Listen to me. We need to have a talk. This is one of those episodes, one of those situations. I wish you would have caught me at a better time, but I'm stressed out. I'm angry. I'm not angry as fuck. I've never gone back to that. What episode was that? For those of you who don't know, I did an episode an earlier episode. I want to say somewhere like in the 8. Episode 8. Something happened that really pissed me off, and I think it happened like the day I went to record, so I'm still heavily pissed. I honestly don't even remember what it was. This is episode 81. This is episode 8 we're talking about. But I was angry as fuck. It's been the joke for the whole show. I've yet to be that angry as fuck like that. But something recently did happen that really it bothered me to no fucking end. So there was an announcement made on Monday Night Raw that Kurt Angle, actually, as a matter of fact, we're going to talk about Kurt Angle. That's what we're talking about right now. But I want to try something here. Because I want to bring these segments back, man. I'm doing this all wrong, but you know what? Whatever, dude. Whatever.
And now back to Action News 5. Our top story tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
Top news story here. Kurt Angle is in the midst of his farewell tour. It was nice of them to let us know that he was in the midst of a farewell tour, like right at the end of it. He's right at the end of his tour, pretty much WrestleMania. I guess he'll wrestle he's going to wrestle like the next 2 Raws or whatever, leading up to WrestleMania as he takes on future talent after future talent here. He's running through the gauntlet, pretty much doing what Ric Flair did on his way out when he wrestled Kennedy and MVP on his way out. He's doing the same deal here. He's getting ready to say goodbye to everybody, and his in-ring career is basically going to come to an end here, and thankfully so. But what everyone's talking about here is apparently Kurt Angle got to choose his opponent. I put the word choose in quotation marks because Lord knows this isn't probably his choice, but he wants a farewell match. This is what he's going to get. Kurt Angle had announced that he will be facing Baron Corbin at WrestleMania, making that match official. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. And when they announced it, the internet shit a chicken, and every human being on the planet lost its fucking mind. Now, that's not what pissed me off. Losing your mind over this is not what pissed me off. Again, I will say this again, as a fan, you're free to like and dislike anything that you want. You don't have to like anything. On paper, yeah, this match looks not so good, okay? But I asked a few people, what did you expect them to do? And I got a lot of names thrown at me. John Cena came up. A few young names came up. Gable, Jordan came up, but Jordan can't do it for obvious reasons. His neck is gone. There were a few names, never Baron Corbin, right? There were a lot of people, Daniel Bryan. There were a lot of names that came up where you're like, oh, this is the matchup that it should have been. So the part that pissed me off and really drove me up a fucking wall is the idea behind the booking. As far as other people's booking, I want Kurt Angle against Cena. I want Kurt Angle against Daniel Bryan. I want. And again, as you're a fan, you're free to want whatever you'd like. But you have to understand something. You are not, let me see, what was he, 1999 when he debuted? That was 20 years ago. So some of you weren't even fucking born when he started. And for those of you who were, you're in your 30s, okay? You're in your 30s. So here's some real talk for you. You ready? This is going to sting, but just rip the Band-Aid off. Grow the fuck up. Seriously, grow the fuck up. Be a fucking adult. Think about this situation the way that you should be thinking about it, not the way that you want to. And I'm not trying to bash you for being a fucking fan. You're a fan. Fan is short for fanatic. I get it. You can't help yourself. But as a person who loves you and is trying to help you be the best you can be, take my advice. Grow the fuck up. It's Kurt Angle. I get it. But it's 2019. He cannot move. He cannot move. He is a piece of skin wrapped around rebar. He cannot move. What the fuck do you expect him to do with any of the fucking people you pitched? I get it. It's Baron Corbin. You're programmed to hate this fucking guy. Okay? And it's going to be a shitty match. But you know what? That's why he's going to be in there with Corbin. Because people, and people are still online right now as we speak. I smell a swerve. There's no swerve coming, motherfucker. This is it. This is the fucking match. And it should be the fucking match. You know why? Baron Corbin doesn't do a whole lot of shit. You already hate him because he doesn't do a whole lot of shit. Which is perfect. He doesn't need to do a whole lot of shit. Kurt needs to do a whole lot of shit. That's the point. First and foremost, don't get this confused or twisted. Kurt Angle is old school through and through, heart and stone. He ain't winning a match at WrestleMania. That's not happening. Kurt Angle is a soldier. Okay? He's the Captain America, no lie, of pro wrestling. He's a fucking soldier, a super soldier at that. Soldiers go out on their fucking shields. Pro wrestlers go out on their fucking backs. He ain't going out at WrestleMania and winning his last fucking match. That's not how that goes. Shawn lost his last match. Flair lost his last match. Taker lost his last... Oh, excuse me. He was supposed to until he did whatever the fuck he did with Cena. But he ruined that. But the point is that wrestlers go out on their fucking backs. Kurt's losing at WrestleMania. Absolutely 100%. There's no doubt about it in my fucking mind. He's losing at WrestleMania. Let that be the first spoiler of what I'm going to be saying at the round table. No fucking way he wins that match at all. None. Because he's old school to the heart, and that's what old school people do. So now we flip it. Okay? Now we flip it. He's going to lose. So anybody he would have been in there would have been a losing effort. The point is to have it look good in a losing effort. Daniel Bryan, which is some of the names, these are some of the names people brought up to me. Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is in his fucking prime. He would make Kurt look ridiculous. Okay? Samoa Joe. Even I like the idea of Samoa Joe because I like the idea of Kurt competing for the U.S. title in his final attempt. You know, that was like the true American send-off. One last opportunity against one of his greatest rivals on the biggest stage for one of the most prestigious championships, the United States Championship. That shit would have been a great story. But even in that scenario, Joe would have had to hold back a lot as to not to injure the old guy on his way out. Any scenario that people can come up with. Even the Cena one. Cena may be retired, but he's in prime shape, can still go. He would embarrass Angle. I think people are overselling what Kurt can do. And if you want to look about what Kurt can currently do, okay, there's one dream match that was on the table for me that I really wanted to see. Chad Gable, Kurt Angle. But I fell into the same trap the rest of you did. I was under the impression that this guy can fucking move. And he can't. You want to see what a car crash looks like? Look at Gable and Angle on Raw this past Monday. That match was horrific. Horrific. I had to turn the channel. It physically, not a lie, it physically hurt me to watch that match. It hurt. That sucked. He couldn't take a drop toe hold. He struggled in everything that he did. Every match he has had since he's been in the WWE, everything has looked like a fucking struggle. He looks blown. He looks just exasperated at the end of every fucking thing that he does. They have to time him out. They have to do a whole bunch of shit just to get him through matches. Just to get him through. And you want him in there with prime machines. One person in particular wanted him in there with the WWE champion at WrestleMania. Are you fucking insane? That's why the Corbin thing actually, when you really fucking think about it, makes sense. Because, first of all, Kurt Angle should not be in an athletic contest for WrestleMania. There has to be a story in place. And if there's going to be a story, he's on his way out. It's got to be classic babyface heel. I could actually name one other heel that would have been better for that. And I know you people are going to think that I'm going crazy. But I really, truly believe that there was one other heel. Only one. That would have made more sense than Baron Corbin, because he could have gone in there and probably would have done a lot better job. Now that I'm describing it out loud, I'm feeling a lot better about the other idea. But the one person I really strongly believe should have been there instead of Baron, he would have been a better opponent. But here's why I don't think they chose him. He's a better athlete than Corbin. I think Corbin is exactly what they're looking for. A bad guy who's just a piece of shit, who's going to go in there and say all the mean things and make Kurt Angle look good. And they're going to have a kerfuffle. It'll be a bunch of different things happening. Heels will get involved. Baby faces will get involved. And in the end, the heel will cheat to win. And Kurt will get his hand raised and be put on people's shoulders. And he'll get the big fanfare. And he will be lifted off into the clouds, into the heavens. He's not going to die, but his wrestling career will die. It'll be done and over with a bullet in its head. And everything will be fine. But he cannot compete. This is the part where I said grow up. He's not 2006 Kurt Angle anymore. It's over. He cannot move. And I am not saying this as some arrogant punk-ass kid who just wants to get over by shitting on a legend. I love that fucking man. He is one of the greatest of all time. Do you understand that? Greatest of all time. Name him. Name a fucking name that's been in this business, and I will show you somebody who was either at tier or below him. Kurt Angle is one of the greatest professional wrestlers to have ever done this. And to watch him against Chad Gable on Monday physically hurt me, because that is not the Kurt Angle that I know and love. I had to turn the channel. I couldn't finish that. Right after that drop toe hold. Go back and watch the match again. Right after that drop toe hold, it looked like Chad Gable was beating up his grandpa. That's what it was. And it's sad. It's the same way that I look at Taker at this point. The same exact way. I can't look at it. It's not the same. The reason that they keep Ric Flair out of the ring, it's the same reason these guys should also be kept out. That's why I'm glad to hear Kurt's making the decision to stop on his own. Someone needs to get in Taker's ear and tell him the same. Because I still feel, even now, that he says, no, I'm not doing it. Don't worry about it. I'm out. I don't believe him. Especially around this season. I don't believe him. I believe Kurt, at least for a while. I do. And it's nice that he's going to get that Sendoff at WrestleMania. And I think this is actually the perfect opponent for him, because they don't need to do much. Plus, knowing full well how this show is going to go, someone's time's getting cut. It's probably going to end up being here. Because fuck it, he doesn't need forever to be in the ring. He cannot fucking move. He can't move. He's stiff as the fucking Dickens. He can't do shit. He can't do anything. So this is the perfect opponent for him. This is going to be good. It's going to work out. They're going to put on a hell of a story. The match is going to be shit. I co-sign that, folks. I'm not going to tell you they're going to figure it out. The match is going to be shit. Doo-doo. No one's going to fucking care. You want to piss break it? Fine. But it's a Kurt Angle match. It's the last one you'll ever see. So I doubt anybody in that building is going to leave. I know I'm not. And the match won't be that long. It'll be brutal. It'll be heat. Kurt Angle will get a few things in, but Baron will pretty much be on the offensive most of that. The big comeback will come. A few heels, maybe Lashley or somebody will come out on his behalf and give him a little help. A babyface will come. Maybe Balor will come out. Whatever the case may be. It's going to be a kerfuffle. It's going to be a clusterfuck. And at the end of the day, Kurt will get the big send-off no matter what. Kurt, regardless of what Baron Corbin said, he was saying it to be a heel, but it's actually not true. They're not going to hold Kurt Angle's last match against him. He's one of the greatest performers to have ever done this. Last match, be damned. He's had way too many great matches. Great storylines. Great character moments. He's a total package player. He's one of the greats. And he'll be greatly missed when this whole thing is over. And I'm going to divulge more into that stuff when we get into the roundtable. But I needed to get that shit off my chest. Well, that match is going to be the shits. It doesn't need to be great. It just needs to be fine. We don't need him getting hurt. We don't need him getting permanently injured. We need a match where he can go in, hit his shit, some belly to bellies, some Germans, the ankle lock, a counter out of the ankle lock into another ankle lock with a leg vine. There's a bunch of different ways that this can go. He's got to get all his shit in. He's going to drop the straps, the whole deal. You know he's coming out with new gear and his gold medal. You know that's happening. He's going to get the big entrance, big pyro, the whole shebang. It's going to be a spectacle, and that's what it should be. If you're looking for him to have a Matt Classic, it ain't happening. It doesn't matter who the fuck you put him in there with, because he just did 2 straight weeks with 2 phenomenal athletes, and he could not look any worse, except for maybe against Baron Corbin. But that's fine. At least with Baron Corbin, you expect it to be bad. That way your bar will be low. The bar will be low at WrestleMania. Go in, do your thing, have fun. That's it. Have fun. Don't kill yourself. Just go in there, say your goodbyes. He's going to have his kids and his wife in the front row, all 17 of them, because this guy cannot stop fucking. He's got kids for days. He's going to have all of his fucking kids in the front row, and they'll kiss him, and they'll be crying and all kinds of shit. This shit will be somewhere in the middle, to give them the moment, and then it'll probably be followed by, I don't know, Asuka or something like that. Something kind of in the middle. You know, Shane and the Miz or some shit like that. It'll be followed by something mid-cardy, and then that'll be it. And one of the GOATs of all time will go off into the sunset, and he's earned every bit of it. We'll get more divulged into his stuff, and maybe even a few more specifics on the Corbin match as we progress over time. Again, next week will be dedicated more to the indie stuff. I gave you guys the information on the Road to WrestleMania contest, and I gave you guys the shirts. So I got a few messages for the shirts. I will be sending you guys size charts and PayPal information. As soon as this shit literally goes off the air, I will be emailing people or messaging them back and getting them information on all that shit. So stay really extra fucking tuned to that. And again, $15 from here to WrestleMania. I just illustrated earlier, about 2.5 weeks. $15, multiple colors. The design looks good. Take a look online. I got a post coming up with the size chart and the different colors and all that shit. So check that shit out. It's gonna be dope. $15. Get your Orsini gear before WrestleMania, baby. Wear it to those indie shows I'm gonna tell you guys about next week. I'm gonna hook you guys up with all the indie information next week. Check me out. All right. So I'm going to get out of here. I have a migraine a mile long. I've got a 90-minute train ride I got to take. I've got a lot to fucking do even still. I can't wait to go to sleep and start anew tomorrow. Thank you for bearing with me. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for sharing. And, of course, thank you all for enjoying episode 81.
Welcome to our dirty show. This is Uncensored mine. If you listen to my daddy's show, he should buy me toys. He's a good daddy.